What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? This your boy Gage. I'm here with jokes and sin, and you are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and talk about all kinds of things that are happening in pop culture. And today,
Today,
we got a lot on the docket. First, we're going to talk about autism awareness. Before we do that, jokes, you have a job to do.
I gotcha.
Jokes will get that Beacons link up for you all who are already hanging out with us, who have jumped in the 5-minute load up. You get a 5-minute, just like get yourself together. It's about to be
snacks, get your drinks.
Right, whatever you need.
I used to believe that was for us. Now I know it's for everybody else. Get ready for the show. Sin, you got a job to do.
Yes, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee, Ellis M. Bay, and Kermit Ferguson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
It's an absolute fact. We absolutely do.
What up, Drew?
We appreciate you for showing. What it do, Andrew? Cuddy?
Don't worry.
Hey, Cuddy, bro, listen. It's too late, bro, for real. Like, he
no,
can't.
It's not.
Nah, it is. Nah,
why is it too late? Why is it too late?
Because it's like, if somebody drops a promo and specifically calls you out, and it takes you 2 weeks to respond, you saw. Like, that's all there is to it. Like, you lost that joint. So, like,
no. And then when I come back and that joint is dope,
I guess we'll find out.
Right.
When there's a promo like after Wrestlemania,
if there's like, even one, you know.
You're getting me flustered, bro. I got a show to do.
Yeah, listen, continue.
Good evening, Heather. Listen, it is Autism Awareness Month. Yeah, Cuddy, you right. That's and fun. As per the normal, we have our Loading Snacks versus Autism shirts for 2024 are now available. We're gonna take a look at the website briefly so you guys can kind of see some of what we have. Not super different from last year, just some slight changes, but we've never had dark or black or other color shirts. We usually only do the blue shirts or hoodies like these, and so we have chosen to do something a little bit different this go round. So I'm just going to kind of run you through it quickly. If you jump to our merch site, which Jokes can share the link to the merch site, right now, for the next 5 days, everything's 20% off. So it's a great time to jump in and take advantage. As per the norm, all the proceeds from these shirts, we will donate to an autism cause. Right now, I'm in talks with the good folks over at Shepherd Pratt, which is local for us, their autism center, to see about donating the proceeds directly to them. So you will find two different versions of the shirt. You will find a one that is set like this, where the lettering is in blue, and one where the lettering is in white. The one where the lettering is in white, all of those products are along the normal standard. Here's your blue shirt with your logo, blue and so forth, to support the colors for autism. However, if you choose to go another route, then we do have other shirts that are available in other colors. It's not too crazy. There's not a lot of them that go outside of the black or the darker colors, but there are some that are available in some additional colors in case people are interested in getting something that still allows them to show their support, but comes in a different color. There are a lot of options. We have product from Champion, product from Adidas, product from
Under Armour's in there.
Under Armour is in there. If you need a bandana for your dog, by all means. If you're feeling polo-ish, by all means. If you want the joggers, by all means. If you're feeling like, you know what, I want to get something for a young one, a little one. Again, it doesn't have to be for a little one. Stuffed animals. There are puppies, there are pandas, there are rabbits, there are bears. There are a lot of options, right? So soft shell jackets. We kind of just try to go all out and give as many options as possible through the retailer that we use. And so again, just a lot of really cool different options than what you normally see from us. But we figured it was a good way to just the more options that you have, the higher the likelihood that you'll find something that you like, and therefore do something that will put us in a position to give back to the community that much more. So that's that. Please, by all means, jump in, share the link, let other people know about it. Obviously, again, the more we get, the more orders we get, the more proceeds we have to donate. And so, giving back is an important thing to us. If you've been around for a while, this is one of the things we like to do. This is just one of the ways that we choose to do so. So, having said that, Sin, I already know what you're buying from the sets. I know you want those shorts.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
My man lost it when he saw the shorts.
He did kind of lose it when he saw the shorts. He got really excited.
Real excited.
Need those.
He got real excited. So, hey ma. Yeah, so shirts are live, joggers are live, shorts are live, stuffed animals are live, water bottles, totes, bags, they're live. Feel free to go in and take a look, and again, share, and across the next 5 days, 20% off your purchases. So please take advantage of that while it's available. Now, switching gears, this past weekend, I had the pleasure of working/hosting for the Maryland Day Festival, which took place at Power Plant Live in Baltimore, which is always a good time. I do have a complaint. I'm just gonna lodge my complaint now. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Fair enough.
They didn't have any giant pretzels. And
like they don't sell them no more, or there was
just
because they just didn't open the, they just didn't open the kitchen. Like, so they had food trucks, and there were a lot of food trucks. There was some overlap with some of what the food trucks had or whatever, but like it was a lot of food trucks, right? Plenty of places to go and get food, and food trucks came from within the city, but then like the Power Plant had their own like table. They were doing like, I don't know, pit beef or something, bro. I don't care because they didn't have pretzels. So
no
like,
pretzel.
There's a tradition, right? That like we do an event at the Power Plant, you get the giant pretzel. When I say giant pretzel, I'm talking larger than my face, dog. Like these are not like, this is it comes out on like a hook. Like they bring it out on like a hook and they sit it down in front of you. And I'm just like, can't wait. And you know what? I'm flying solo. So that means I'm not sharing. And you know what? Walked up to the bar and was like, girl behind the bar was like, can I help you? You know, what you want to get? And I was like, yes, you can. Let me
Giant
get
pretzel.
one of them big old pretzels. And she was like, ooh.
Right
And
there,
when
his
she did
balloon.
that,
Pop.
Oh, that balloon.
Right there.
in that moment,
Say what now?
I thought to myself, I'm gonna have to go back there. What you mean? Well, we don't have any pretzels. What do you mean you don't have any pretzels? Well, the kitchen's not open. Open the kitchen. Like I don't see what the problem.
Listen,
Mix the sauce. Like okay.
I'm
It's
hosting.
early,
I need my pretzel to get me through the rest of this day.
bro. It's
Simple
like
as that.
1 o'clock. We're gonna be here till like 9:30. What do you mean? Like open the kitchen? Like I don't understand. I am having pretzels, so I guess I can't help you. You are correct. You cannot help me.
Somebody
I thought we
can.
were best friends. This is a problem. So, needless to say, I had to pretend to be happy the entire rest of the time I was there because while I was having a good time, and I don't want people to think I wasn't having a good time, I could not stop thinking about how I did
Lingering
not
pretzel.
have a giant pretzel. And in my head, like on the Leo understand, Sin, I'm pulling into the garage. Bro, listen, you don't understand. I'm pulling into the garage, which this is like I've never been in it. Right, I've never been in this garage before, but they were like, this is the garage you got to park in because this is the one we have the free parking for. So it's a different garage than I ever been in, and it's like right behind the building. Like it's cool, but this building literally, I kid you not. If you if you go down the stairs, the floors are labeled like 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Like they have actual like half floors. Like the ceilings are dumb low. I'm like, what is this? But you know what? I don't even care because I'm like, all I want to do is go and bite into a giant pretzel. Like I'm like in my head, bro, like it's happening. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, none of this even matters. Dog, I'm early. Like, I don't have to be here until 12. Slim. It's 11 o'clock. I'm early. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go in here. Let me give me this pretzel. And then I went and I waited like an extra hour. I didn't even go ask for one until 1 o'clock.
Defeated.
I appreciate that you get it, man.
Defeated.
Nonetheless, Maryland Day was cool. You know, it was very, very Maryland there. And I want to say that probably my biggest issue with Maryland Day Festival, and I'll have to have a conversation with the showrunners, but like, was the lack of actual Maryland representation. I know we were in Baltimore, but this was very much like a Baltimore Day. A lot of Ravens, a lot of Orioles, you know what I'm saying? Just it was very Pratt Street, you know what I'm saying? It was very like, and you know, and there was a lot of people walking around wearing flags. You know, Maryland has the best flag because nobody else's flag matters.
Facts.
So I think that has a lot to do with it, right? But like, there was no like PG County love. There was no Moco. There was no, you know what I mean? It was like, nah, we're in the city of Maryland. Like we're in Baltimore. And so that's what this is. And I wasn't mad at that. It just felt like I'm wearing a shirt.
Maryland Day.
So like Baltimore Day instead of a Maryland
Day.
Day.
It's like my shirt says I survived Camp Schmidt. And I know nobody
None
there
of them know about Cam Schmidt.
To anybody there.
That's one of the realest shirts you could own.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. So, while there was a lot of love, some really great bands, I also feel like there maybe could have been a little more outreach in terms of like just kind of mixing it up. You know what I mean? And getting some, you know, Maryland Day and there's no go-go here, bro. Like, we got to talk about some things. Like, we got to figure some stuff out. You know what I'm saying?
If it's going to be Maryland Day, All right, you gotta.
Did they at least have like
Yeah.
a Old Bay section or something with like Old Bay stuff that you could just get there?
Are you asking me if that was there?
Yeah, just something of Old Bay.
Oh,
I mean, there was tons of Old. There was Old Bay stuff everywhere. Dog. There was tents of Old Bay. Like it was just like, I mean, there was Old Bay vodka in my hand.
The only thing you said was just the
Like,
Old Bay vodka that you had.
But nah, I mean, it was. I mean, like when I did, they had like a Maryland Maniac contest. People dressed up. I was a dude who was Old Bay from head to toe. Old Bay hat, Old Bay shirt, Old Bay. Like he had on like a button up with an Old Bay t-shirt, Old Bay button up, Old Bay t-shirt, Old Bay shorts, Old Bay socks. My man was Old Bay. He didn't win. So yeah, Maryland Day. It was cool. I enjoyed it. It's always a good time hosting. The folks who run it are good people. But I'd like to see us like maybe bridge some gaps, you know what I mean, in there and kind of get some crossover appeal in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like Northern Maryland, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like Baltimore and up. But it was a good time. Like as a matter of fact, I had a great time. I had a great time. I did. I had a great time. And then they had the nerve to start karaoke early in one of the bars that wasn't technically participating in Maryland Day. And that's always a threat. So like,
yep.
Moving on. Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla and King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So this new movie, the new Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you making that face, huh?
Continue.
This movie came out this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it?
I did not.
Yes,
did you care? I didn't ask you, Sin.
Oh, my fault.
Damn, I don't know. Apparently,
but I'm gonna.
Apparently,
I'm gonna.
Jokes,
I'm gonna. But that's why you were shaking your head, like you were so excited. Like I'm with that. Okay, Jokes, you did not.
No.
Jokes, did you
care? I care. Like I care about the franchise, but they're okay. Like they're not like I have to absolutely get up and go to the theater to see. But other one, nah.
Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Now
you saw this?
Yes, I saw it. Yes, I saw it.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it for exactly what I was going to see. Yes, I enjoyed it.
That wasn't
yes. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay. The critics seem to not like this movie, but the people love this movie. Like the differential between the critic scores, which is at like, I want to say like a 40 something.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Where like the people scores is in like the 80s, right? Like they're way off, right? The movie did $80 million over opening weekend. Okay. Which is, it's weird. Like, I don't want to say it's incredible. But the reason why I actually bring this up is because when Dune 2 came out, people wouldn't shut up. Dune 2 is like the greatest masterpiece, blah, blah, blah. Dune 2 did $82 million in its opening weekend.
Okay.
Godzilla and Kong, $80 million opening weekend.
Okay.
Like on your heels, on your toes right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it has me in a place where like we've been talking for the better part of about 4 years now about movie theaters, how well they're doing, what it will take to kind of get theaters back in. And for me, it's been like, bro, it's a wrap. Like, like this is, it might be over for these joints. Like I don't really see it because there's really no major reason to go. And now we're starting to see films that like people are just like, yeah, like, no, you need to see this in the theater. This is made for the spectacle of the theater. There's a reason to go. And I feel like a lot of that fear of doing that is gone. I'm beginning to realize, and talk to me about this. You know, 4 years is a very, very, very long time. And I don't think we give enough credit. I certainly didn't think about this until this happened this weekend. And it really kind of got my gears moving. You know, we talk all the time about like what our own home setups are, how TVs are big now. It's not, you know, it's common for a television to be big now and for people to have surround sound or at least a decent speaker of some sort, right? A sound bar, something like that, right? But I also recognize that so much of the content that you used to only be able to consume either at home or in the theater is available to you everywhere. You carry it in your pocket all the time. You can watch things anywhere. And there are many, many people of the up and coming generations who like, it don't matter that you have a giant screen because they have everything in the palm of their hand. And they just watch. They're consistently watching things on their phone or on a tablet on the smallest screen that they can get. And so that idea of the spectacle, the giant screen, I actually think might be more important than we realize, because the big screen TVs and the surround sound systems were created during generations of there's only two ways to do this.
Yeah.
You either do it at home or you do it at the theater. And then we started to do what we could to make the home match the theater, right? To give you less reason to go. And then we started to up the quality of what you could get at home, right? We went to HD, to 4K. We're not going to talk about 8K, but like, you know what I mean? But that, right? But then there are people who just don't care because they just like, nah, I mean, I have it, so I'm good. Like I can just watch it whenever. If it's available. You have people who are only consuming that video content with earbuds in, with AirPods in. You know what I'm saying? Like the audio quality isn't that big of a deal to them. They consume everything that way. Small screen right there wherever I am. So the theater might actually be a more important component than it used to be. Cuddy says, I have a coworker that was like, Dune 2 is the greatest. Can't be that great if Godzilla Kong basically pulls the same numbers. Here's the thing. It could be. It also could be that very different people are going to see these movies.
Oh, wow. They closed that AMC? Right? Oh, man.
Yeah, that's why the AMC theater, Andrew says, that's why the AMC theater in Dover Mall closed. Been closed since March 17th. I mean, again, so hard to like maintain that, right? J. Robert Dean says, plus the ability to pause the thing when Junior needs a potty break. I mean, 100%, right? The way that we consume and what we choose to consume, we have so many options now. And there are options that a lot of us don't, like, we know we have them, but they're not options that they feel like options to us. And an option is something that you're presented and you just make choices, right? So again, you used to be very limited in what those options were. You can watch it at theater, you can watch it at home. That's it. If you want to watch it at home, you're going to wait a really long time before you can actually do that. Right. That's how it used to be. But then, advent of the internet. Now I could watch on my computer. I could watch on my phone. Why would I ever want to watch on my phone when I could watch it on a bigger screen? But then you have people who have always had the option of watching it on a smaller screen wherever they were, no matter what they're doing. Case in point, if you go to a Target, if you go to an amusement park, you will see children being pushed in a stroller, holding a screen, just attentive, just watching. They are used to doing it that way. No earbuds, no nothing. All the noise of the outside world still exists, and they are locked in, bro.
Yeah.
Locked in. The way that they visually consume what's in front of them, that's not an option. It's part of life. Does that make sense? Like, it's not, and I have this or I have this. It just is. And that fundamentally changes that. So when you start thinking about, all right, what does it really mean to have theaters? What brings you back in? What is the kind of thing? Like, I'm kind of in a place now where it's like, if they're very careful about the budgets they put forward when they make these movies, we might be coming back upon summer blockbusters. Like, it might really be getting ready to be a thing again. And that means that the Marvel fall off might have been fake. It might have just been fake. It really might have just been like, we don't know what to do when you can't really go to the theater, and we have to give you another option to the spectacle. But there's a certain amount of control that high schoolers maintain in theaters, in the kind of money that theaters make. High schoolers, teenagers go back and watch the same movies over and over again. It was a hangout. It's a thing to do. We would have these traditions of, let's go do this. So let's think about this for a second. In 2020, you couldn't even graduate. You couldn't even walk with your graduating class. So think about that. If you were a senior in high school in 2020, for like the next 2 or 3 years, there is no like really going to the movies, getting all your friends together and going and doing that. And that puts a dent in the theater going market that I think is like, it's so difficult to crawl back from, especially when you're like, well, look, you just do everything at home. You just do school from home. You just get on here. Let's just do it. That's how they do college. These kids don't have books. Like, they don't have books for school. Right. So now you have to give them, like, there was a boat of like, there's this entire group of people who came up through high school and middle school. Like, middle school is when I really started to like go to the mall with my friends and go to the movies. Does that sound about right for y'all?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
7th, 8th grade, you know, can we go to the movies? We go hang out at the mall for a little bit, go to a movie. Somebody comes and picks us up, right? You know, that was gone. So if you're talking, 2025, you're right, Perp, it could be really huge because there is an experience that, like, if you were in 8th grade then, you are starting to drive now.
Yeah.
Being able to put your friends in the car and go to the mall and go to a movie this summer, that's real different. That's real different. What's up, Kristen? It hasn't been there for a long time. And as they come into that, going into like their junior and senior years now, it's a whole different landscape that, like, now you can cater to a different group of people who, like, they may not care about doing at all. Spectacle, but do they want to see some silly? Let's go get some popcorn, just kind of hang out and sit with your friends and talk trash in the theater. Sin.
Yep. That was my bag for like 2 years straight.
You know, that's a thing. So in all the stuff that we've talked about, everything I've been like, I don't know, man. Somebody's going to come in and buy these theaters out. Somebody's going to have to figure something out. The economic comeback that is formerly eighth graders becoming like high school juniors and getting their licenses and being able to go out with their friends, go to the mall and like just looking for something to do. Movies could be. Does that make sense?
Nah, I think it does.
Yeah, it's just a way. They just got to figure a way to tap into that younger market and make it like a vibe to them, to want to go out and do that kind of every week.
Not even necessarily the vibe. It's like as long as you're with your friends, like
that's the vibe.
You're gonna make a vibe out of whatever. Even if you go somewhere and it turns out it's not the greatest experience or whatever, as long as you're with your friends, you're gonna make a good time out of it.
But you also got to remember you got to put the movies in there to make them want to go up there and go spend the money.
Or you're right, but it seems to me that they are taking advantage of things being open again and beginning to, in a smart way, differentiate between what they put in the theaters and what they release to streaming directly. Also, again, I think a lot of streaming services are going to be gone. Like, I give them 2 years. Perp said horror's been killing it in 2020s. And you're right, because it's scary. Like, if you go to the theater and y'all the only ones there, that's a lot scarier.
That makes sense.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's way scarier.
Exit stage left.
But again, that's the thing. Like, so think about the difference between what it was like last year, the year before that. The state of theaters, the state of people even just really being able to go and do that thing and not having built up that repetitive thing of like me and my friends. Like, for them, it's me and my friends get online and we play Fortnite. And we can do that from anywhere. That, like, getting together and going out wasn't even really a possibility. So as that trend kind of comes back around and they're able to do that, like Perp said, this October, as these juniors go into their senior year, I really think movies are going to see a huge jump.
Man,
Perp said, and more anime at IMAX is dope. Spy Family going to be in IMAX. I mean, again, another thing that just, again, like,
my tickets for it.
Oh, they're available already, son.
Yeah. My man said, where is my device?
Continue.
If you think about it, anime is like just part of the youth culture, period.
It is now.
It's not, yeah. So that being the case, yeah, putting in the theater actually can work. It makes sense to do it. And they'll go, right? So I think there's a turning point. On that note, jokes. When you decide you're gonna like watch a movie at home, is there a ritual? What do you do?
Snacks, like I gotta get. See, I don't gotta go to the concession stand or nothing. I just go to the kitchen, just grab all the things that I need. It depends. Sometimes, like, the living room is where I got the real nice setup at. So the sound surround system, all that good stuff. Don't get me wrong, most of this movies going to get watched on that TV. But sometimes, it's just like the chill layback. I'll come, like, my gaming chair is super comfortable. So I'll sit here sometimes and watch it, but I don't have the real nice setup. Like,
if it's like a major movie thing, like if it's like, oh, this deserves the living room. Like, do you have to have a specific snack?
Fruit snacks is like that. That's like the number one snack for me. Fruit snacks.
Is that what you get when you go to the movies? If you go to
the movies, I get popcorn. I get the drink typically. I may
have to have popcorn and the drink.
I may take the candy with me. But but the popcorn and the drink is just, especially if you walk in there and it's that right perfect time where you hear the fresh popping going on, and it's just like, yeah, I gotta have that fresh popcorn.
Sin, what's the vibe? What's the mood? What are we doing? We getting ready to sit down and watch. You saw it in the theater. Now it's at home. I'm about to sit down and watch it like for the first time. What's the vibe? Lights out, lights on. What are we doing?
Depends on what I'm watching. Either lights will be off or I have a certain color. It all depends on the vibe of the movie and what's going on. Of course, turn up the volume a little bit. You want to hear it loud. You want to hear it thump. Pour me an adult beverage. Make sure the place is clean outside of kitchen. I may have thrown down in the kitchen to get ready for a movie night, So as long as the food's ready, I'll be sitting there, probably on my right, with a little drink, Vicious on the left, and we just cut it on the go for it.
That's the go.
Yeah.
Light a particular pick a color.
Yep.
Depending on the movie. All right. It's I don't know. It's a Star Wars movie. What color?
I might go with a blue or red, depending on which Star Wars movie. Just kind of Jedi set thing. It just depends on which movie we're going into.
What if it's full of
maybe even a green?
Tatooine?
If it's Return of Jedi, it would most likely be green.
What if there's a lot of sand and you on Tatooine like the most of the movie?
Then I'll go to like one of my little desert themes because my lights have like themes. I go to one of those and just pick that or whatever to go with it.
Call it a day.
Yeah,
I dig it.
See, we got.
All right, listen. Oh,
okay.
Movies and concerts.
Movies and concerts cheaper than buying a concert ticket. I mean, it certainly can be. I mean, you can get a concert ticket for cheap if
it may not be necessarily that close, but you can get it.
Now I can watch concerts in the theater April 10th. I'm in there. I hear you. That's a fact.
I feel you on that. And then
that's a thing.
Hey, Sin, you know what tickets I got?
What,
they finally announced that joint and dropped the tickets for it.
You hit the group chat. Let us know the tickets was out though.
Hey, listen, they didn't officially.
That's not his problem, sir. That's not his problem.
They didn't officially announce it. But you remember I told I was like, okay, we got a release date, and I went to the theater to go look for something else, and then just see, Mobile Suit Gundam. I'm like, wait a minute, tap on it, you start scrolling. I'm like, oh, there's times in here.
Still, you could have slid.
Did you hear the effort with which he tapped his screen? Did you hear the effort? He didn't bother to use that effort to let you know.
We could have did a thing. Got everybody together.
We absolutely still can because I'm planning on seeing this joke multiple times.
Why is he yelling at you?
I don't know what is up with this dude. No promos, yelling at me because he didn't make a promo. I don't get it.
Hey, Sin, calm yourself.
He gonna yell at his
promo. The promo wasn't even gonna be mostly directed at you, so you better calm down before it gets shifted.
Jump, Froggy, jump!
He go to promo right now.
Let's go, bitch.
The promo coming. Here we go. Sin.
Yo,
you excited for this weekend?
Yes, 1,000 times yes.
Check this out, bro. WrestleMania 40, milestone, hometown, Philly, right? Liberty Bell is in the logo, bro. It's real out here. I did the predictions, you know what I'm saying, over the weekend. This is what I want to know. Who predicted Lil Wayne interrupting a match?
Hey, bro.
He ain't interrupting.
Is Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne is performing and dropping a new single at WrestleMania. He shows up with Uso.
Jay?
Is Lil Wayne interrupting a match?
No.
Are you sure?
Listen, Sin. We've seen how celebrities show up.
I know.
And listen, he be the backup. And listen, he be a back. And listen, he gonna randomly just hop up on.
Lil Wayne stayed with the weight in the weight room.
Lil Wayne better sit his ass down for Solo spike him.
Hey, listen, he can do that, but Wayne's still gonna interfere.
All I'm asking, because is my man really crafting somebody's new intro?
I was thinking that.
Is the new single about to be somebody's intro? No.
Hey, listen. Bro, hey, Sin. It could be one of those
crossover if you're not doing that. Like
it could be a one-off. It could be a one-off. Like say
a one-off or something like that. Okay, but I'm thinking not nothing like to use going forward. Jay's gonna keep his That thing.
Hey,
is
listen.
too big
Hey,
right now.
listen. If he incorporates Jay's music within the track to use over top of it, like I feel bad that we never got the Nakamura jump to show up. The Uzi Vert did, but he could
just like Uzi last year. He'll come out, do a song like whatever his new song is probably before Jay's music hits and Jay walk down.
That's cool, but that still is part of his opening jump.
But him going down there and getting involved, getting in between him and Jimmy, no, I don't see that happening.
I don't see why not. Hey, look. I don't know if Lil Wayne and Meek Mill got any type of beef or whatever, but these two could end up having. Oh, I don't know if you know Meek Mill.
Meek will be ringside. He'll do the intro to WrestleMania to open it up, but they're not getting in the ring.
But I definitely see. You said
and Philly Freeway. It got is Meek, Philly Freeway, and the Roots. That's it.
No.
Hey, listen. I didn't say my man gonna get in the ring and have a match. No,
I didn't say
completely different.
Fight.
But he definitely will get.
He's gonna interfere.
He gonna interfere.
That's all I'm asking.
He gonna end up taking an L. He gonna get knocked out by somebody. Most certainly.
I don't got him interfering. I don't even got him interfering.
No. That's not good for his.
If there's any type of interference or whatever with their match, it'll come from bloodline relations because of everything that's going on with them at WrestleMania. It'll be Rikishi or something.
We don't know if. Hey, listen. Wayne end up walking into the wrong person backstage. They say something wrong to him, and then whatever that match is, that's where he ends up starting. Don't gotta be the Usos. It could just be someone he walk into in the back and they look at each other the wrong way.
To be honest, I don't really care. But
Austin Theory, Grayson Waller.
I know y'all do.
It'll be them.
Well, they may not even make it. So that's a whole sidebar conversation. Because they're gonna pull them out of the match. So
sounds good to me. We'll see what happens. I just thought I'd throw it out there because why not?
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Let's twist for a moment. GDC was last week before Game Developers Conference. A lot of we talked a little bit about some of the stuff that we saw was like Unreal and the stuff that they were showing. We looked at the trailer from the Marvel 1943 game. Really cool. What we didn't talk about really was the interviews that Phil Spencer was doing. Jay Robert, I'm lost now. I gotta go. Mm-hmm. Y'all take care. Hope we get to see you guys soon. Okay, cheers. All right, Jay. Hope you're feeling all right. Thanks for popping in, hanging out. Phil Spencer did an interview with Polygon during GDC where he talked about several topics. One of which, that maybe got blown a little out of proportion was him talking about handhelds and how his disappointment with him like traveling to GDC, having his Legion go. He has a Rogue Ally, has a Steam Deck, but that like he couldn't jump in and really play Xbox games natively. Mm-hmm. That was a problem. That saves didn't show up the same way, and he really felt like that was an issue. Like he needed to fix that. And people immediately were like, "Oh, Xbox doing a handheld. It's going down. It's happening." Right? Because he's the boss. And if he wants it, why wouldn't he get it? Mm-hmm. I want to start there. One, do you want an Xbox handheld? Jokes, you first. And here's the thing. Just yes or no.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Sin?
No, I don't need one.
I don't need any handheld. I don't care about them joints at all. Because I don't really have a need for them. I drive where I go. Like, I don't really ride. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't travel in ways often enough to need a handheld that maybe is other than my phone. But, okay. If Xbox did a handheld, price point, let's not even go there yet. how would it have to work for you in order for it to feel like it's worth it? Jokes, especially you, because you said yes, you want an Xbox handheld.
The main thing for me, kind of like where the other handhelds are, I would like it to run Windows, where maybe necessarily I just didn't have to be within the Xbox. I could come out of it and do, obviously maybe not a full blown out thing that I could do with a normal PC, but I can access certain applications and things from it.
You don't want a portable Xbox. You want a portable PC.
Because the only reason why I've held out, like getting, like, for me, I wanted the ROG Ally, because I love
Right.
Asus products. It's just that one thing about the Xbox migration, everything being into it, because it's like I don't want to rebuy games. I don't want to do that, and that's really what's been stopping me from actually getting one of the handhelds. Cool, I'll be able to access like Steam and certain games that maybe normally I wouldn't play outside of being on the box. Obviously, I have a gaming laptop, so I can go on here. I can play any of those things. But I really want to have like my Xbox integration into it, because that's just 90% of the time. That's where I'm gaming. I want to be able to use Game Pass, have my saves, have all of that to it.
Saying you feel the same?
Pretty similar, yeah. Like I would want it to work just like an Xbox, like not like a app version of it or nothing like that. No, I want it to be copy and paste. I want it to work, look exactly as my Xbox does. The same interfaces, everything. Where I get to my games and stuff I have bookmarked, I want to copy and paste it. That's what I would want from it.
Again, I don't really care. I don't think there's anything they could do that would make me be like, oh, I need to have this. However, we're going to talk about some things that could kind of put that on its side for me even. One of the other things that Phil talked about the openness, like no longer liking the walled garden that is like exclusives and exclusivity. So the I guess the meat of it is, because, and we've talked about this already, but like because console gaming isn't growing at all, right? Because console gaming is flat, then if you want to grow your business, the only way to grow that is to pull customers from other people, right? That like you don't generally have new people buying consoles. You have people who already buy consoles buying new consoles, right? Upgrading, going to the next thing, or they're moving to PC. And PC does have a lot of growth, specifically in the gaming sector. There's a lot of growth in PC. And that seems to be something that is coming from the fact, not so much the flexibility of, oh, I can run these games and change settings and do all of that, because that's the thing that has kept most people out of PC games, because it's just too much to deal with. Downloading drivers and update, like this isn't working, for any of the number of reasons why something might not run right or whatever on your PC is a reason why a lot of people have just been getting away with it. However, PCs are so like ubiquitous now, and everybody's got a cell phone, and people just kind of can look things up, and they just kind of know. And like as younger generations come up, they just know how to do stuff, right? That like the older generation was like, nah, just put the console in front of me and let it work, which I'm fine with, right? But a lot of people are going that route because of the flexibility of choosing where they get their games from. Malls are closing. Best Buy, Target, they don't really sell games, at least not physical anymore, right? GameStop is probably going to be gone in 2 years. But if you're playing on PC, you can buy from Steam, which most people have no problem with. Games tend to be less expensive. They tend to look and run better. But you can also buy from the Epic Game Store. Or you can go to the Windows Store if you want to. That's kind of crazy, but you could, right? So you have like a lot of options and flexibility. And like, yeah, you may have to boot into a different storefront or whatever in order to get it to run or whatever, but you can still do it all on one platform on whatever your PC is. And so there is talk of feel like allowing or wanting to have the Epic Game Store, Steam on Xbox, like on whatever the next Xbox console is, having those things available, which says, not unlike what Jokes was just saying, it means that the next Xbox is probably going to be running some version of Windows. And what that means is, I just like walk with me for a second. If the next Xbox, remember that Sarah Bond said, we're going to announce like the biggest technical leap you've seen in console, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And everybody thinks power and it could be some of that, right? But I think that there is, especially the way that Phil is talking, a basis for them to say, we're gonna. Do you remember when they did Steam boxes? Remember the Steam box? Your PC, but it's just connected to your TV, whatever.
Yeah.
There is a space right now where, like, Steam having a handheld is done so well that also connects to a TV, connects to a monitor, basically is a Switch, right? But runs PC games. There's a space right now where, because Xbox already has a place in homes under the TV, that the next box/console they do is a PC, but it's called an Xbox, but it boots Windows or is running a Windows kernel and therefore allows you to buy from the Steam store. If you can buy from the Epic Game Store, if you can buy from the Xbox store.
All right, Drew.
Andrew said, I gotta get off. I got a 12-hour shift tomorrow at work. Have a great week. My man, you get some rest. You know what I mean? And do your best to enjoy that shit tomorrow. You can always come back and listen to the rest of the show tomorrow. It'll be posted. Thanks for hanging out.
Why are we the Buster Bros?
The Buster Bros. That's the first time I think I've ever heard that.
I ain't going nowhere. But I'm gonna tell you what we're not doing is we're not interrupting this conversation to talk about WrestleMania. So if the next Xbox does in fact allow you to boot Steam, then that means PlayStation exclusives that have only been available on either a PlayStation console or PC will be available on whatever the next Xbox is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
I think Phil is they're trying to figure out ways to like you said, to break that wall down. And if folks don't want to necessarily play ball the straightforward way,
well, they don't. But there is no straightforward way anymore, right? Because the straightforward way isn't working. Right? Like, so like, even if you're PlayStation and you're quote unquote winning the console space, right? Like, you own the console market. You have that chunk. You're not getting any more of it. Right? Like, even let's imagine for a second that PlayStation could, let's say, completely eradicate Xbox from the space, and it was only Nintendo and PlayStation, right? And so PlayStation owns, let's say, I don't know, 60% of the market, right? And let's say Nintendo owns 40% of the market. Them owning that market doesn't really net them any more growth because there are not more people buying or playing games. For the most part, the people that want to play those games are playing those games. And the people who are like so diehard Xbox that they just aren't going to buy a PlayStation are going to get PCs, and they're going to play those PlayStation exclusives on their PCs or their laptops or whatever, so that they don't have to jump, into that ecosystem. And so even if you're PlayStation, if you're not looking, again, there are like Jim Ryan is retired now. He's gone, bro. Somebody else is running the ship now. And the person who is currently in charge in the interim is already saying, we're looking at multi-platform. Now, he's only talking PC, but even that is only sort of realistic, right? Because the truth of the matter is, if you can have your game on everything and really only develop and put out one SKU, so to speak. You save development costs and you put yourself in a position to make a lot more money because you get in front of a lot more people. Period. That's just what it is. So I want to take a minute. I want to read. So there was a quote. Basically, Phil was like, when we do our testing, like when we talk to the people that are out there, like Gen Zers don't care where they play their games. They're not like Xbox people. They're not play like they get up and they just play Fortnite and it just works on all their stuff. It works on their TV with no console. Ellis is saying, so your prediction that technical leap is software, not hardware, when we're seeing the emergence of spatial computing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because spatial computing is software. You obviously have to have hardware to run the software. The software can only do that's any software in any state. So you have to have hardware that can do it. So if Xbox puts out a new Xbox console, quote unquote, that's basically a PC, but can also boot and run from the Steam store, they have to have a console that can do it. But if you can do it in a handheld, like the Steam Deck, you certainly should be able to
do it to the console.
Exactly.
I mean, the Steam Deck is a console because you literally can dock and hook it up. I mean, technically, it's still a console. So,
I mean, there are people saying right now that they think there's rumors that like the next go round would be like you wouldn't get like a Series S, you would get whatever the Xbox handheld is, and it's both. It's you know what I mean. Like you can.
I like the sound. I like that.
A Switch, right? You can dock it and play it like a Steam Deck, or you can take it with you, right? And then maybe you have the full blown Series X, Series Z, whatever that is, right? But in that space, you have to be able to now either offer those additional storefronts where you can take a piece of that pie that's coming in. Like if you're trying to tell your shareholders, we're not going to be able to sell any more consoles, but we will be able to make more money. And the way you have to do that is not going to be viable to say, well, we're just raising the price of games to $80, right? Like if that, because that's really not viable, right? Being able to tell your shareholders, the next piece of hardware we put out will have access to Steam OS, to the Steam store. It will have access to the Epic Game Store. It will have access to, like, if you're doing that, you are opening yourself up to so many more consumers that a person who might be thinking about doing a PC or isn't somebody who might normally get a PlayStation or an Xbox might go, hey, you're telling me that if I get this, I can play everything and it's just on the TV and I don't have to. That's the kind of thing that speaks to shareholders and your stock goes up. Period. And if you look at the landscape, literally compared to the other two big players in the console space, which are Nintendo and PlayStation, Microsoft's the only ones who can really do it because they already own the OS. Like they own that world. If people are playing on Steam, 99% of them are running Windows. Period. They're already in that ecosystem in some manner. Sure, somebody's booting into Linux for some reason. For good reasons. There are reasons to do it. But like Windows is already there. So if they can take the branding that is Xbox, if Game Pass or some version of Xbox is on your TV, if it's on your phone, if they make a handheld, and if the box itself that you can put under your TV is also going to offer you the option to buy and play those games wherever, and then you can still jump on your computer and pick up where you left off because it's the same system, so it's cross-save and it's cross-buy, and you're not buying games. Just like you said, Jokes, like I don't want to have to buy my games twice. I just want everything that I buy to work. You should have that, right? And so when you talk about preservation, when you talk about ownership, digital ownership, all of that, that's the way you do it. Ellis says, I would challenge that. That's like calling a Vision Pro just a fiat of software. A lot of folks would consider that a hardware innovation. I get what you're saying around access to marketplaces. Here's what I'm going to tell you. What the Vision Pro does is not new. It's old. It's old. It's old tech, right? It is just new tech that is being introduced into public space. But it's old tech. That tech doesn't mean anything if there isn't any software to run it. So if you buy a Vision Pro now, how do you boot it? What system does it boot into? What is it running? Software. If there's no software, right? Those two things, like, they have to work together, right? But if you innovate with new hardware, generally speaking, outside of like, if you have new hardware, there's new hardware that comes out in every phone every year. You get new hardware. That new hardware runs better software. There's software innovation that is happening that needs to take advantage of what the hardware can do. Right now, your Xbox and your PlayStation, if you have a PlayStation 5, I can tell you right now that hardware is not being pushed to the limit of what software can do on it, because that never happens in the first 5 years of a console. The best games always come out at the end when people have learned how to squeeze every bit of juice out of it, right? So you're always going to have hardware innovations. That's not going to change. So yes, you're going to have hardware that has to come out. The software is going to be important. But if you look at what's happening right now with like Unreal Engine, Unreal 5.4, and the innovation that you're seeing them push in that space, a lot of that software is designed for you to be able to utilize it even if you have lesser hardware.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to make it easier and cheaper for you to do that. So like, spatial computing is a thing, but spatial computing is software. That's what it is. Yes, there's a great piece of hardware that goes on your face, but like, I mean, Microsoft did that with a HoloLens like 8 years ago. Longer than that, right? So the hardware got better, and if they continue to develop it, it's in the same space. But without the software, the hardware doesn't mean anything. Which is why the PlayStation listen. They're gonna be giving away like
VRs,
the PSVR 2s.
Gonna be handing them joints out.
Hey, no, know what's going to end up happening? Come Black Friday, you buy that PS5. It was like, hey, we're gonna just go ahead and slide you this PlayStation Vision 2 over here.
Something to get them out the stores.
Are there super great innovations in the PSVR 2 versus the PSVR 1? Absolutely. 100%. Does the PSVR 2 rival what you can get in a Quest, even though the Quest is not tethered? Yep. But I'd rather have the untethered than the tethered, right? But the software isn't there. And the cost is too high for the hardware. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just that's what it is. So like, let's talk price points. If Microsoft does a handheld, let's say it's new gen, so it is, let's call it Xbox Series X level, not Series S. Let's get like maybe in between Series S and Series X, which is basically where I feel like a Steam Deck is. It's like kind of in between the two. Let's say it's in that space. What's the price point? Where does it have to be for it to matter?
Yeah. I feel like if it's the power in between the two of them, but you still can be able to hook it up to your TV, use it as on standalone console, that price has got to like literally like be like we're at the point now where we're probably going to see a price reduction. I feel like on the Series X, I think we've already really seen it be on sale a good amount of time. So Series S,
remember the price, they had price jumps. They had price increases
in other places. That's valid. Are we still at $299 for the Series S, or we officially go to the $249 on the Series
The last
S?
one I bought was $250, but that's a sale price.
That was a sale. If that became the normal price, I would see maybe the handheld being like $349. I feel like the $349 plays ball with a lot of the outside of the Steam Deck and one of them having like a pro version of their hand. That kind of falls in kind of line with some of the other handhelds, I feel like.
I think the lower end Steam Deck right now is like $499, I believe.
And then if they do potentially do like maybe, I don't think they would go after two versions of it. I feel like it would just be one, and maybe they'll do something a little bit different and make like the SSD easily accessible where you can go in and upgrade it if you want to. I don't think maybe they just won't worry about those type of things.
I mean, I think that's a lot of the problem in why it hasn't been done already. Like the original plan for the OG Xbox was let's put a PC in the living room. Like that's really what the plan was supposed to be, right? Outside of like, I mean, you could do email and stuff on it, but it was clunky and blah, 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 right? But like, I think that a lot of the reason why it hasn't happened is because the want or need for it to be modular so you could upgrade parts or something like that. The moment that joint is in people's hands, they're gonna hack it. They're gonna hack it apart, bro. They're gonna break all in that thing. They gonna, you know what I mean? Like, and if it's especially if it's like running Windows,
easy,
bro.
It'll be hacked by noon.
And I think they'll look, and I think Microsoft and them will actually look forward to having people being able to do that type of stuff. And then you'll be able to eventually actually partner and do some other stuff with it. Like, obviously, they're going to have that core stuff that they're, hey, listen.
I mean, their biggest issue if they do something like that is one of the biggest issues that's plagued Steam, really PC gaming in the whole, is people cheating. Right? It's like having to have that software in there and dealing with people cheating on PC is probably the biggest issue. You know, that's something they have to figure out. Right. And like the licensing for, let's say, Xbox games is like designed to run on an Xbox OS. So that means that whatever they do has to boot an Xbox OS, but also be able to boot Steam and also be able to do an Epic Store and also be able to boot some version of Windows. And it has to work well and it has to feel relatively seamless. Like, I don't think that people really want to have something that's connected to their console that has the complexity of like, turn it on, go online, click on this to get here, then you get to open this. Like, I don't know. But at the same time, Gen Zers are used to having to open apps to do whatever they want to do. It's just life. It just is what it is. You turn on the main thing and then you jump into an app, right? So 2-year-olds, bro, they cruise apps like it's nobody's business. They swiping and tapping. Close that out. Swipe, tap. Can't talk. Swipe, tap. I know how to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
maneuver,
bro, that's a real thing. That's where they are. Like, listen, I really want you to think about something. Because I need it to be in perspective that, like, we're talking about companies that are in a place where they need to be able to sell to people our age and older and our kids, which is like where I am right now, right? So, like, Jokes, what's the first game console you ever played?
OG Nintendo.
Okay, no analog stick.
Nope.
Do you remember what it was like the first time you tried to control something with an analog stick?
Oh, dear God. Going to, would have been the N64 probably. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, N64. That was a weird thing. Going to the joystick and then having like the C buttons. That was a real transition.
Sin.
Yeah.
You remember the first time you had to control something with an analog stick?
Sucked.
Have you ever taken an analog controller? Have you ever taken a game, a first-person shooter, first-person game, and put a controller in the hands of someone who had never done it before and watched them try to figure out how to walk, how to maneuver the camera and walk at the same time? Okay. Now, I want you to consider that there are kids now who are 6, 7, and 8 who have never owned a console, are the best players in the world at Fortnite. They shoot, they run, they gun, and it all happens on a touch screen. And if you put a controller in their hand, they are garbage.
Oh.
They're garbage, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's like handing somebody who's only ever played on PC with a mouse and a keyboard a controller. Being
Garbage.
like,
Yeah.
see me now, Slim. Right? So that idea of like you're trying to sell to people who like that fight that we have over whether or not the Xbox controller is better than the PlayStation controller and where the thumbsticks are, they don't even know what thumbsticks are.
Nah.
They're not buying controllers. Like, that's a real thing. And if you're the person who's in the position of running a company that is trying to get people in and keep them in, that's who you're talking to. That's who you're talking to. So now, you try to convince that cute person over there that gaming is cool and it's fun or whatever, and they've never held a controller. You put a controller in their hand, look, see how fun it is? And they like, nah, dog, this joint, why is it shaking like that? Like, bro, why is it rumbling in my hands? Like, all of that? Like, all of that. What I'm supposed to do with these buttons, buttons up here too? What am I doing with these? Bro, think about that for a second. Think about that. What up, Hef? You got to put it in perspective, right? That like somebody who was born 2 years ago is likely to never touch a controller and be a gamer, play everything, shooting 360, no look. You know what I'm saying? Like no scopes, just out there getting it. Hey, bro, if you tell me I have to play one of them Jones on a touchscreen,
no, we fighting.
Somebody phone give him, bro.
No fighting words.
You phone break it like I'm chucking that. It's not happening. You understand what I'm saying? So again, it's like it's growing up in that world where you just have access and everything is already there, and you're used to everything being there. So like, it is like putting a rotary down.
This rotary phone, I laugh because this rotary phone conversation, I feel like I've had for like the last 5 days straight in different conversations.
I mean, listen, say you came up in a different era, you know what I'm saying? Quarter century fams. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a real thing. You got to figure out how to do it. And if you're used to having everything literally at the touch of your fingertips, then telling somebody, oh yeah, you can play this game, but you can only play it if you buy this box and put it under your TV and play with this controller with these sticks on the top. People like, dog, I'm not, why would I ever do that? Which sounds crazy because it didn't seem like that's the thing that would ever go away, but we always want to touch screen. So like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched the joint over the weekend. Dudes were playing Helldivers, right? Online, right? And for the first time, like they had this little boy who was with them. He's like 10. He's playing Hell, and he's like getting it. He's not terrible with the controller, right? But they asked him like, because he never played it before. All he plays is Fortnite. He plays Fortnite and Roblox with his friends. That's what they do, right? When you go home, you gonna tell all your friends about Helldivers? Nah. You don't think they like it? You don't like the game? I mean, it's cool. Yeah, but you don't think they would like it? I mean, they might, but everybody already got Fortnite. What? Like, dog, that's what we're dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? They don't even want nothing else. And if you're playing Fortnite, nah, pass them sticks ain't even to say you right, F. Ain't no pass the sticks. There's no pass the sticks is like put your quarter on the screen.
Yeah, I guess up there with that. Yeah,
same, bro. They don't know. So I'm just saying, like, again, imagine you are the person taking over at PlayStation for Jim Ryan, and this is the world you're coming in and you're taking over. Like, what you're trying to do to run that company and sell more consoles and actually have growth in the company is completely different. It's completely different. If you're not looking at putting your games on something flat with a touchscreen, you probably gonna lose. That's just what it is. Listen, Hef got a little one. I bet you Hef daughter could probably use an iPhone better than any of us. Right, got a tablet and just is a whiz, bruh. But it's what they know, and it's designed to be intuitive. So yeah, it's a whole different landscape. And I think that if they don't come up with ways to allow you to access everything, sure, here's the one box. This joint can do everything. When you go buy a laptop, you don't even consider like, can it access Steam? Like if you know you're getting a joint to play games, it doesn't really matter. You're not gonna ask that question. You just all your stuff's gonna be there.
Yeah.
These are people who are growing up like bro, your Steam account might as well be your social security number. See? Have my 2-year-old catch up to my 6-year-old. I swear I'm a good parent though. You are.
You are. I mean, definitely.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the reality of that's what we're dealing with. Right? You're not gonna be able to tell them kids, oh, buy a PlayStation so you can play God of War. Why would I ever do that? That's over, bro. Yeah. That's over. Especially when they're gonna be like, well, we're gonna put God of War on PC. It's just gonna be next year. Nah, you're not waiting until next year. It's gonna be day and date. Because Helldivers is a perfect example.
You're gonna miss out if you don't.
You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. You ain't got no choice. And I think that landscape, I think what the next run of consoles that release is gonna look like is gonna be very, very different than what we're expecting, what we think, what we're used to. It's gonna be so different. All right, listen. One last thing I want to do before we get out of here. What up, Juan? There's a new trailer that dropped. So some of the folks who used to be at BioWare and Ubisoft left those, came together, formed a new studio called Yellow Brick Games, and this is the trailer for their new title. Let's take a look.
Engine like that. Oh.
How the world is your weapon?
Interesting.
Send thoughts.
Looks interesting. I need to hear more about it, but I can keep that on something on my like radar to keep an eye on, to see how it's coming along and stuff like that. It's piqued my interest enough for that. Let's just see where it goes and how everything ends up, when it's all over. But I dug it.
If it's co-op, is your interest more piqued or less piqued?
More piqued with that one.
Jokes, your thoughts?
Same place. Like I think what they presented looks okay. I know it was just alpha. I'm sure it's gonna look better when it comes time for the final thing, but I need a little bit more from it. Need to see a little bit more, but I like the concept of what the world is your weapon. Like when it first came on and seeing like the big steel beam that just like lifted up and just got thrown, I was like, oh, okay. But I'm intrigued.
The world is your weapon. I just like it looked like they had used ice to like make a bridge or something, because I saw them walking across the bridge. But then it looks like they're actually trying to wrap one of those. I'm gonna call it a Titan because it's just a giant.
Sure, yeah.
Looked like they were wrapping it up with ice, like they were drawing like a cross on it or something with ice, and it looked like there were other people attacking it while that was happening. So might be a vibe in there. I'm interested. Without getting too deep into it, Rockstar made an announcement today. There's some new DLC coming this summer.
Okay. Still gotta beat the last DLC.
And GTA Plus members get an extra $1 million every month through August, on top of the 500,000 they already get. And there's some additional other benefits that are coming, like an additional whip you can get. There's some things like they're trying to do some things, man. We'll discuss it when Jokes is not around.
It's fine.
Right.
He'll be.
I'll at least log it. Yeah, Hey, listen. I'm just not in the Grand Theft bag as much as you guys are. Plain and simple.
That's cool. That's because you don't have no money.
Hey,
he has some money.
I
can do the short card. Say it. I can do the short card. Do it.
I can do a short card.
Facts. All right, look, let's wrap the show up. Jokes, you got a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
On top of doing that, if you would get that merch link back up for everyone.
Get the regular ones in, y'all.
Also on the Spider-Man short. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I didn't watch it. And
yeah, I actually forgot about that jump.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm not trying to avoid Spider-Man on my timeline. However, anything Spider-Man related probably gets sent to my DMs. Like my DMs.
Overload.
Yeah, it's like a right. Like, you know how I send y'all like videos of people getting knocked out?
Knocked out, yep.
You know how often I send them joints to y'all?
Yes.
Very often.
That's how my Spider-Man DMs are, right? Here's the thing. I'm not mad about it, but because of that, my advertising is super heavy. Like it's like, if these people don't leave me alone about every Spider-Man movie's coming back to the theater, go to the theater every Monday. Yeah. It's not happening. I will watch all of them joints at home. Just leave me alone. Right? So I just I took a moment. But I do know some things about it, and what I will say is that them putting out a short just makes the fact that we have to wait
even longer.
The second part of this movie sting even more.
That we should have now.
Twisting
like
right now.
Yeah, I'm just like, so you gonna make me wait for this movie? Oh, but y'all got time to like throw little animated shorts together? Like that's where we are right now.
Just take a pause. Hey, y'all, just shut down for right now.
We need to do a quick. Very disrespectful when you say.
We need to do a quick little short and throw on YouTube right quick.
Yeah, it feels kind of disrespectful, man. So like right now where I'm at is like, you know what I'm gonna do?
Hang tight.
I'm gonna watch Invincible. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna keep watching X-Men '97. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch the Spider-Man joint though, because I kind of have to. So like I'm going to, but I haven't yet. Reminder. Loading Sites versus Autism shirts are live. Again, Jokes, I think, has already linked up
already
for
there.
you all. There are, again, 2 different versions. So if you want to get something that is the shirt itself or the gear itself is blue, then you want the logo that has the white writing. All this stuff in there will be blue. If you'd like to do something a little bit different or have some options on color, like not going crazy with the colors on it or whatever, but if you choose the logo that has the blue lettering, then you have options like this or like this, or again, if you want a teddy bear, you can do that as well. As always, we donate the proceeds to just help in the fight to raise autism awareness. So wear your blue this month. If you feel so inclined, please go and purchase something. Everything in the store is 20% off for the next 5 days. If you don't feel inclined, but you feel like you'd like to help, besides liking this video, dropping comments, share the site, and just kind of let people know so we can continue to do that work to raise that awareness. Jokes.
Yes, sir.
WrestleMania is this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
When can we expect some information from you in regards to how WrestleMania went?
Was going to chat it up with the crew, saying like, I know night one we do not get a post show or anything. I don't know if we want to go live. I don't know if we wanted to go live maybe to talk about night one. Maybe afterwards, or maybe we just do like a quick little recording and throw up for people to see.
Very possible. Easy enough to do.
Mm-hmm. I just got to get agreements because I can't say yes, but I think we'll do something right after it's over.
I mean, you can feel free to just record and post your thoughts on.
I most certainly can.
Well, then you don't need Sin to agree to that.
Yeah, but it's
you need
funner.
Tatiana to say it's okay.
But it's funner when it's more of us in there together.
I'm not saying. I'm just.
But yeah, no, I think we will do something. At least, yeah, one up between me, or if we do it as a group, right after Mania is over, I do think there's going to be some impressions that comes out because obviously WrestleMania, it's 2 nights. It's 2 nights. And of course, depending on how some things go on night one, it's going to set up pure chaos potentially on night 2. So I think there'll be a little bit of stuff right afterwards. Yup.
Yeah. So, okay. I said Thriller Park.
Yep, Thriller Park this Thursday, episodes 10 through 12 of Parasite. We are reaching the halfway point. Heather pulled up last week, watched them with us. She thought it was a crazy show, but
she jumped in the middle of the.
Yeah, she just jumped into episode 7. Didn't know what's going on. Like, hey, yep.
Sometimes it's better that way.
But good times. We're really enjoying this one. Now that the public is getting involved in the show, I have no clue where the show is going, and I am loving every second of it each week. So yeah, episodes 10 through 12 this Thursday, 9:30 in the Thriller Park channel on the Discord. Join us. It's gonna be a good time.
I dig it. All right, folks. We'll be back next week. Talk some trash. I'm talking We're gonna see if Lil Wayne interrupts. We're gonna see if the Lil Wayne joint hot this weekend at WrestleMania. That better not be the best thing that comes out of WrestleMania this weekend. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, I
can't. Bro, if The Rock try to drop a verse on that joint, turn it off. Turn it off.
Stop it.
But we
just shut it down.
Stop it.
Hey, listen, I don't know how he hasn't worked that joint into one of his promos
I will
yet.
Turn it off of us watching it together. I will hit the button.
That is exactly what I mean, sir.
I was surprised he hadn't tried to work that joint into a promo as of yet.
Stop it. He has time to do what he wants. He's doing what he wants now. Don't give him any more ideas.
Oh,
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Zeta, really? Really, that's how you feel?
And with that, I don't even want Jokes to tell y'all nothing. We just about to close this. Jokes, tell the people what I need them to know.
Remember, y'all, just because you have a well thought out plan doesn't make it a good idea.
With that, we're out. Toodles and lose.
Loading snacks.
He gonna come down to that joint at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Listen, he better not. Because listen, the Hollywood intro right now.
Bro, hit the button, dog.
He hit the button to